what kind of music is most popular? Well, pop music. So one of the biggest categories of music is called pop. You can just say pop, or you could say pop music, up to you. Pop is short for popular. Now, you have to be careful. You could say, what music is popular? Or you could say, what music is pop music? And the answer is a little bit different, or it could be different. So popular music and pop music aren't exactly the same. Popular just could mean that many people like it. Pop music is like a genre of music. Now that's kind of tricky, but let's explain what is pop music, and it might help make it clear. So pop music means it's music that's made for everyone to enjoy. Maybe it's kind of light. It's not super serious. The people making it want as many people as possible to like this music. They're not trying to make serious art, right? I mean, there might be some super big talent in there, but they're trying to entertain people. That's mostly what pop music is for, okay? A lot of pop, the lyrics. Now, lyrics means the words in a song. So we'll talk about lyrics a bunch of times. So the words in the song, the lyrics in pop music are often about love, and the lyrics are often about having fun. Maybe like, we're going to have a good time, or we're going to have a party. Many kinds of things like that. So pop music can include lots and lots of stuff. So it's kind of hard to define. But pop music usually has a certain kind of structure. That's called the verse-chorus structure. The way the song is organized is the structure. Like first we have this part, then we have that part, then we have that part. That's the structure. And it's called verse-chorus because these songs will have a verse and they have a chorus. Now, a verse in a song is like the story part of a song. It might be a little bit slower, or the way the song starts, and it's often telling a story. And usually in a song, each verse will be a little bit different. So that's where it's kind of like telling a story. It might change as the song goes. And then the chorus is the part of a song that repeats. So if you hear a song, the part that you hear more than once is called the chorus. And that's usually the exciting part, the part where everyone will sing with the song. So the verse might be the story, and then it gets more exciting, and that's the chorus. And you sing along to the chorus, okay? So pop music is a lot like that. And then let's go over some sub-genres of pop that are popular here in Asia, and it might help you explain what you like if you're talking to people from the West or native English speakers. So, of course, there's pop music from everywhere, but there are a few different types here in Asia, okay? And the big ones are, of course, K-pop is number one. So if you want to talk about pop music from Korea, that's called K-pop. I think you guys probably already know that. And the K is short for Korean. So Korean pop music. And like we said, this music is made for entertainment. Make people happy. People want to enjoy this music. And it's often about love and having fun and stuff like that. In K-pop, a big part of their culture, in the music culture for K-pop, is groups of people. And so for K-pop, there are girl groups, like this group Twice, which you may have heard of. So girl groups are a big part of K-pop, and then also boy bands. So if you want to describe K-pop, you could say, oh, I like this girl group, or I like this boy band. These kinds of groups were popular in Western pop music in like the 1990s. So in the in America, well, not America, in the West, there were some girl groups like the Spice Girls. And then there were some boy bands like the Backstreet Boys. So this style of pop music was popular in the West a while ago. But now it's usually individual singers or maybe groups like Maroon 5 or something. So K-pop, Korean pop music. And then there's J-pop, which maybe you've heard of before, but a little bit less common than K-pop. J-pop means Japanese pop music. And of course, every country has their own style. So J-pop is very different than Western or American pop, very different than Korean pop. And one thing about J-pop that is an interesting thing is that they have these things called idol groups. So K-pop has girl groups and boy bands. J-pop, they call them idol groups. And this is a very Japanese way of thinking. They think of the people in the group as an idol. Like they want to follow them and maybe get to know that person even more than some other countries. And so these idol groups, they try to collect lots of cute people, I guess. So in Japan, one popular group that I'm not sure if they're still around, but it's called AKB48. And so it's definitely not for me, not my style, but a lot of people like it. And I think it's 48 young women singing at the same time. And so it turns into almost like a chorus, but people really like it. So very interesting style in every different country, right? So Korea has K-pop. Japan has J-pop. Now, what about the Chinese-speaking world? Do we just say, well, what do we say about Taiwan and China and Singapore? Well, you can call it C-pop. So this is not really well known in America. Americans will probably know about K-pop. They might know about J-pop, but not so many people know a lot about C-pop. So C for Chinese language. So yeah, C-pop means it's in a Chinese language. And there are many different languages that are Chinese. And so there are even subgenres of C-pop. So C-pop is any music that is in a Chinese language. And so one language is Cantonese, right? People in Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese. So that kind of pop music is called Cantopop. Cantopop meaning Cantonese pop music. And one famous guy is Andy Lau, who is also a good actor. So Cantopop comes from Hong Kong or the Cantonese speaking world. And then if the songs are in Mandarin, which is what I speak, Mandarin Chinese, we call it Mandopop. Okay? And a very popular Mandopop singer is Jay Cho. And so it's the Mandarin Chinese language. Okay? And one that I didn't really hear of this before, but you guys could use it if you want to describe music in Taiwan is T-pop, Taiwanese pop. The T for Taiwan or Taiwanese, and another name for it is Hokkien pop music. So pop music that's in the Taiwanese language, you could call it T-pop or Hokkien pop, which if you're ever describing music you like to someone. Like we've said before, if you talk to somebody, they might not understand what you're talking about, so you have to explain. If you say, I like T-pop, don't be surprised if the person you're talking to has never heard of that before, okay? So you always want to explain what you're talking about. Or even like Cantopop and Mandopop. Oh, I like to listen to Mandopop. And someone from Florida might go, what the heck is that? It's like, oh, it's pop music in Mandarin Chinese. Okay? So, what are a few other popular genres in America? Of course, there is rock music.